Good morning. I thought it was live about 15 minutes ago, but it wasn't public, it was unlisted. So we're here at Twin Oaks and Tom, the owner, has arranged a live animal show with snakes and all sorts. Let's have a look at this.
Now the reason I'll put him on a branch, his feet are designed to hold a branch. He does have this monkey prehensile tail. If he was to sit in the tree, you wouldn't be able to see him. His eyes can move independently, which is clever. One eye can look at you, you might be food, and another eye can look out for danger. Really bizarre. He has a tongue that can fire from here to here. So he doesn't have to move. When the insects are in a tree, he just fires this blob of muscle. And it's not sticky, because people say, oh, it's got a sticky tongue. It's not sticky. It's a big blob of muscle that hits the insect. The inner part of the tongue, this is quite difficult, the inner part of the tongue sucks in. And it makes like a suction cup. So that's really clever. So a sticky tongue that's not actually sticky. Now we haven't even named him, he's that new. If he doesn't need his tail, you'll start to see him curl his tail up. He'll get rid of it. But if he needs his tail would be there like a limb to hold on to the trees. Like this. It's amazing. And he's going to get bigger than this. He's going to get really big.
What is it? What is it?
There's no position, he can't go in a tree without falling off. His feet are like mittens. They grab around the branch. So he is an arboreal lizard. Beautiful, in a very prehistoric kind of way. So nobody said beautiful for a snake. But this has got legs, he looks a little bit more normal. Oh, who said that? Oh. Well, we think that about you too.
Does he change colour or not?
Yeah. You want to hold a stick?
Yeah.
You never held a stick before?
Yeah.
There you go. I tell you what, stay there with your stick and I'll take a picture. You ready? You smiling?
Smile,
Is that a smile? Yeah. There you go. Grand. Right, let's bring it down this side of me, don't we? Now the smallest chameleon in the world, also from Madagascar, is called the pygmy chameleon, and it almost sits on your thumb nail, and that would be fully grown. There is a chameleon that comes from Africa that gets very cold. When it gets cold, reptiles haven't got any energy. It basically freezes, falls out of the tree, lands on the floor, waits for the sun to warm himself up, and it kind of defrosts himself.
Take him here because he's going to pull me. Come on in.
Coming on. Can't really pet it. It's silly thing you're going to try to. Let's get a volunteer. Who have I seen? Yes, can I borrow you? The little one, I can't remember your name. What's it? Blake, does your cousin want to come with you? Do you want to come with you? Come on then. Together? Oh no, she's off. That's okay. She was happy sitting there. I tell you what, I'll get another volunteer then. Let's go with that lady doesn't smile. That lady's fat. Oh no. Your pop not smiling. He's looking at everywhere. One eye's looking over there. One eye's looking somewhere else. You stand there. And if you watch his tail, so hold it there. Oh, best day ever. Give her a clap, that was brilliant. Well done. Yeah, I'll bring him close. If you're going to stroke him, I'll let you stroke maybe his tail just there. Just a bit funky now. Because he's not like a lizard that you sit and pat. I tell you what, let's go for a lizard that you can stroke. Because it's one of those animals that you all want to stroke it, you can't really touch it, because obviously that makes him kind of nervous. Let me show you a lizard that doesn't get nervous by anybody. Let's show you this. This is a lizard called a gecko. Now the gecko is a very small lizard which doesn't change colour, jumps a little bit like this. Are you ready? Now, just to warn you, it can jump. If it jumps, it can jump quite far. He's got like these really springy back legs. Sometimes you can tell when he's going to jump, sometimes you can't. Sometimes he just does it for no reason. Looks like he's going to go, but he might not be. He'll sit on the edge of a branch if an animal tries to eat him, he can leap away. This animal comes out at night time. With the chameleon came out in the daytime. He's got their massive eyes that can't move independently. He can't even close his eyes. His eyes are so big, they're not able to physically close. If you look at the side of his face, there's a tiny little hole, and that hole, that tiny little hole is his ear. Now, when he does jump, I kind of can get there just in time, but just in case I don't, close your mouth. As it might land in there. Oh, he's going. His name is Gary. His name's Gary. Gary the gecko. Oh. Now this lizard, like the other lizard, both of them are boys. And with boys, with a lizard, they're always big. With the girls, they're always small. With a snake, it's the other way round. He hasn't got a choice. He's on him now. Now it might land, if he lands on your face, he has got Velcro-like feet. Now he doesn't have sticky feet, but he's going to jump. He's got these Velcro-like feet to help him to grip to trees. He's got a prehensile tail, which means he's got a monkey tail. Good boy. He's got a monkey tail. See if he goes. Is he going to go in his ear? It looks like he's got eyelashes. If you look at him, and the only reason for what looks like eyelashes is to break up the shape of his body, which hopefully will then in turn help him to camouflage. Do you like that? It's got like a moss-like kind of look to its body, and the moss kind of look is there for him in a tree. Helps him to blend in. His favourite food is kind of puree, so like mashed up banana or something. Yeah, only somebody sitting can hold it, yeah. So sit on your bottle. Should you get mummy to hold it? You will. If you're sitting, yeah? If you're standing, no. Right, let me see if I can get this lizard to do what it's supposed to do. And not the jumping bit, it's the climbing bit. Did you get it? Yeah. I'll show this camera as well as just right in the way. So now, he's got, whether he wants to is another thing, but he's got the ability to hold on. And it looks like a stick. The chameleon can't do that. The chameleon can only put his foot around the branch for gripping. So he has to physically hold like a baby holding your finger. This, thousands of micro hairs on his feet that go into thousands of micro grooves that you can't see. So there's obviously little dimples that he pushes hairs into, a bit like Velcro. But there's no surface that doesn't really have some sort of groove to it. Nothing can be perfect.
That noise out there.
So he thinks that there's a dinosaur over there.
It scared me to death. I just turned round and saw
It's an owl.
Yeah.
The one with the snake.
It's an owl.
Choice, people think, but it's not. They don't need attention like a dog, but that's maybe a good thing. They're quite low maintenance. Would you like to see something I didn't bring last year? Would you want to see something else? Give it a clap. Yes. Hey. This I didn't bring last year. And to be fair, I don't always bring them out. Only because they don't do an awful lot. The chameleon can change colour, he can hold on to a branch, the gecko can kind of stick to being rustful. The snakes are just bizarre the way they move. This just tends to sit still. It will be another reptile. Reptiles are snakes, lizards, turtles, tortoises, alligators. This will be a reptile them in the shell.
Oh.
You can class that as a tortoise, or maybe a turtle. This is the one that can live for hundreds of years, and it is called a tortoise. Now, lots of people say R for the tortoise. It's a very special tropical tortoise called the red-footed tortoise. And it's called the red-footed tortoise because it's got red legs. If I put him down, he won't go hopefully too far, which will give me a chance to show you another tortoise. Now this is a tortoise that everybody, grandparents, would have had as a pet. They cost pennies back in the day. And then they become quite scarce, and that's only because they stopped importing them, because the amount they were bringing in all died. So this is an Amazon tortoise, but this is a Mediterranean tortoise. Now, I've got one more tortoise to show you, but this will be an African type. So we've got Amazon, America, we've got places like Greece and Turkey, and all over the Mediterranean. And then we've got this tortoise, which comes from Africa, and one day, this one will grow to be the third biggest tortoise in the world. This one will grow roughly about that wide, that long, and at that size it grows too big for somebody. So this was somebody's pet. It's 70 years old. So the lady in 40 passed away, and she asked us at some point to take on the tortoise. This one was bred in a zoo, and there wasn't one. We ended up having 22 of them. And this one was bought, and already it's got too big for its owner. But they bought the third largest tortoise in the world. It's going to grow like that. Now, does anybody know the biggest tortoise in the world? The Welsh one. The land tortoise, the Galapagos. He's nodding. Ah, he's smelling. His sense of smell is really good. So if he does that, he's smelling. He can smell the grass. I'll tell you what, I'll put them around people's legs. And if you want to meet them, you can come and greet them. Oh, that one's the most active, but I suppose it is a warm day. So I'm going to pick that one over there. Yes? Yeah. What's the biggest tortoise in the world? Then you've got a tortoise called an aldabra, and then you've got this one. If you want to stroke the shell, yeah, stroke the shell. You might notice that one's pretty bumpy. And the reason for that one being bumpy, basically, it didn't have enough calcium in its diet while it's growing. So the tortoise will take the calcium out of his own bones. Shell being one of them. Nice, actually.
It's going away so fast.
Did you stroke his music?
Just stroke the shell.
Stop him around a bit.
Scared. Wait a second, what is?
Now, one reason it might be nice and still is because it's
Can I hold it?
What's what? What's what? That's his protection.
Non-words, but that's going to long have been beautiful.
All right.
This is armor, so animals can't dig him out. Pardon? Snapping turtle. So a tortoise lives on land, but a turtle in what? Yeah.
Big, isn't he?
Yeah. What a beautiful day. So the plan is today, when this is finished, do a little bit more filming
Most tortoises,
and get the drone up.
of 120,
Is there anybody there?
the giant tortoises,
One person. And say nothing. Who are you? Where's your chat? Where's the chat?
right, so, great question. That one over there, the Mediterranean tortoise,
Nothing. I'm live, but there's one person on.
the other two,
Oh, nobody likes you, love.
Nobody likes us.
out of them, 3 tortoises.
So wherever you are watching, what are you doing today? Is the weather nice where you are?
That's a Russian tortoise. It's called the horse-tailed tortoise.
Right, I'm going to catch up with you later, I think. When the owl is out. Caro.
Well, this one's 10. 10 years left.
But that's stop arguing with me. Right, where's my toy? On the ball. If it was a dead mouse on the floor, he will eat it. He will bite it, use his paws to whip it, take it to chunks. If they were dead. No, but if it was a dead body, yeah. Once it starts to rot, it starts to get a bit festive, you can rip chunks off it.
That's the
Galapagos.
yeah.
Oh, where's that in?
In a place called Hallow Park.